Hi students, today we will learn about remainder theorem. In lower classes you have learned about this division method. The same method is applied over here, but now you won't find numbers, you will find polynomials. Suppose if this is the largest number which we should take as px. This is the divisor which we will take as gx. And you know quotient, so it is qx, and this is remainder, hence it is rx. Imagine this way. These are not at present polynomials, but imagine this way. We can even say they are polynomials because all constant terms are polynomials. But at present, for our convenience, we are taking this simplest form of division. Now, according to division algorithm, px is equal to gx into qx plus rx. Using this division algorithm, we will find the remainder. Now, there is one condition that gx has to be a linear polynomial. To make it a linear polynomial, write it in the form x minus a. This is the standard form of a linear polynomial. And this is qx plus rx. Here is px. Now I want this part to be 0. When can it become 0? Just imagine, when can it become 0? Think it over. I don't want this to be 0, but I want this particular part to be 0. Yes, you are correct. When we put x is equal to a, then a minus a will become 0. It means the crucial part starts now. We have replaced x with a. So wherever you find x, now you will write a. P of a is equal to a minus a, which we did, into qx plus rx. This part is 0 plus rx. We have arrived at our answer. We found rx at p of a. So we must replace x with a. Can you tell me in this sum which is the divisor? As we are going to divide it by x plus 1, hence it is the divisor. Can we compare this x plus 1 with x plus a? Sorry, with x minus a? In this division algorithm, we took x minus a. Same we are taking here x minus a. And as in the division algorithm, I told that x minus a should be 0. This part must become 0. When this becomes 0, the entire this part, this particular term will also become 0. So, once again, what is the divisor in this particular sum? It is x plus a. So, now I will write x plus a is equal to 0. Why? Because in the division algorithm, we have used x minus a is equal to 0. Once more, one more important thing that you should remember is that x minus a is the linear polynomial. So in this kind of sums, where the divisor must be a linear polynomial. Now you will ask why it should be linear polynomial. What is so specific about it? Then if this divisor is linear polynomial, it means if gx is linear polynomial, is gx the divisor? Yes. So gx is a linear polynomial, then the remainder will always be a constant term. Because why? Degree of rx is always less than degree of gx. So if gx, here comes the main important part of the remainder theorem. This is the most important part, that how can we get rx, and that to a constant term. Then always the degree of gx must be 1. Then the degree of rx will be 0. And when will be the degree of rx be 0? When it is a constant term. In all the constant term, the degree is 0. Like if you say 5 is the constant term, then its degree is 0. Here our previous simple division. Here this is the constant term and its degree is 0. So now we want our result such that we get a constant term as rx. And again I will repeat that our divisor is a linear polynomial, because then only we will have degree of gx 1 and the degree of rx 0. So let us start our sum. This sum will have only 3 steps. It took a little bit many steps to make you explain this remainder theorem to you. But when you are solving the sums, you don't need so many steps. You just write by remainder theorem x plus 1 is equal to 0, x is equal to minus 1. Now, which is the polynomial in the question? Px is equal to x cubed plus 3x squared plus 3x plus 1. Now you replace this x with minus 1. So wherever you are finding x, now we are going to write minus 1. That's all. It's very simple. You are going to replace x with minus 1. Don't forget to put brackets. Some of you are not in the habit of putting brackets, so put the bracket properly. Minus 1 cubed is minus 1 plus 3 into minus 1 squared. Minus 1 squared is 1. When the powers are even, you get here the negative numbers become positive. So, and when the powers are odd, the negative numbers remain negative. So here the negative minus 1 becomes positive and you get 3. Here the power is odd, so you will get minus 3 and plus 1. Minus 1 plus 1 gets cut, this gets cut, 3 and minus 3, and so you get 0. So the remainder is 0. This is the simplest sum. It requires only 3 steps. Now I am replacing this x plus 1 with x plus half. I can say x minus half. Let us take x minus half. So, x minus half is equal to 0 by remainder theorem. Don't forget to write it. By remainder theorem, x minus half is equal to 0. Therefore, x is equal to half. This is the second step. Which is the second step? We are going to write the polynomial as it is in the question. Now replace this x with half. That's all. The first step, you remember, x minus half is equal to 0. X is equal to half because we transposed minus half to the RHS. Now P of half is equal to 1 by 2 cubed plus 3 into 1 by 2 squared plus 3 into 1 by 2 plus 1. Nothing is to be done, just you have to replace x with half and then do the calculations. Here you will get 1 by 8 because 2 cubed is 8. Here 2 squared is 4, so you will get 3 upon 4. 3 is in the numerator, but don't forget that here it is 2 squared, so you will get 4. Here 3 upon 2 plus 1. This is not in the form p by q, convert it into the form p by q. Let me write once again. What did we get? P of half is equal to 1 by 8 plus 3 upon 4 plus 3 upon 2 plus 1 upon 1. Let us take the LCM as 8 because it is the greatest number and all these are factors of 8. So the least common multiple is 8. LCM is 8. Whenever you find all these factors of the greatest number, then the greatest number will become the LCM. Because 2, 4 are factors of 8. So 1 upon 8 will remain as it is. 4 you have to multiply by 2 both in numerator and denominator to make it an equivalent rational number or equivalent fraction. Here you will multiply 2 with 4 and 1 will be multiplied by 8. So now you are noticing that the denominators are equal and so we take the common denominator 8. In the numerators we are going to add. (18 plus 1, 19, 19 plus 8, 27 upon 8. So the answer will be, the remainder is 27 upon 8. Thank you.